3 on? 1,163 probable cases, which brings us around 13,500 cases. Our 14-day percentage positive rate has fallen again to 9%, 9.4%. So that's encouraging. What that means is that it's almost like racing. You don't let off the gas. You keep doing what you're doing, distancing, sanitizing, wearing your mask, and then, of course, when your time comes, getting in line to receive the vaccine. So with that, let's hear from our healthcare professionals. And Kelly, will you give us an update on the hospital, please?
I will. Thank you, Mayor. I'm excited to announce that we are down to 9 inpatients, 9, single digits. 2 in ICU, just 1 patient on the vent, and 1 PUI. And we're elated. However, I want to also emphasize, don't take your foot off the gas. You know, continue to social distance, wear your mask, get in line to get your vaccine so we can get the herd immunity. But yes, we are excited to see that. Our employees are really thankful, you know, still want to get these patients well and get them out and stop the spread. So
good. Now, what was your high? Or you were running an average of about? We
were over 100 at one point, Mayor. Okay. So 108 maybe, I think is what we had. And we had patients anywhere we could put them with a total census of over 200, which is a lot. At one point, we had 31 patients on ventilators. So
we just, to get complacent right now would be an error.
Yes, it would. Okay. It would. I want to, thank the people of Morgan County for what you're doing and continue to do it. Continue to social distance, wear your mask. There is a little, I guess, misleading out there. Some people think they get their vaccine and they're just, have immunity that day. And that is not true. So when you get your vaccine, please continue to wear your mask and social distance and do the things you need to do and get your booster shot. And then after that, continue to wear your mask and social distance, but you do have some immunity built up, which is good. So
thank you so much.
Thank you.
Miss Judy, you don't have any props today.
Well, I am the prop. Kelly and I are the props today. So, well, Mayor, to build on what you all had said, there was a renowned philosopher at one time that said, the journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. And I don't think anybody over the course of this last year would deny that we have been on a journey, maybe more on an obstacle course than on a journey. And, in that journey, we've been off track a number of times. We've been off track because of things we couldn't control. We've been off track because of things that I think we could have controlled a lot better than we did. But, as you have said, and Saturday morning I was driving to a meeting and was going east, and the sun was coming up for the first time in a week, and I thought, this is phenomenal. And where we are in this journey, the sun is coming up. The sun is coming up, and we are just so proud that we are getting to where we are. Now, that being said, I do need to add on to something that both you and Kelly have said, and that is that in the deaths that we're talking about, we have roughly 200 deaths in Morgan County. If you go back and look at the data, 69 of those deaths occurred in January, or were at least posted in January, and 52 of them have been posted for this month, for a total of 121 out of the total deaths. So while we applaud ourselves for where we're at, we cannot let our foot off of the gas in terms of getting to the end of this obstacle course. We want to be sure that the reason things look better are for the right reasons. It's not, we can't applaud ourselves that things are better at the hospital because a number of 121 people have been reported as dead in the last 2 months. So this is still a serious illness. This is still an illness that has some considerations as we're looking at new strains that are potentially out there. We've demonstrated we have the potential to take care of it, but we've got to get through this obstacle course. We've got to do absolutely what's right. If you look at this county and you look at the total cases that we've had, 1 in every 10 persons in the population here, if you take the 13,000 that you reported, over 13,000, and the 120,000 population, 1 in every 10 persons in this county has had COVID. Some of them may have been mildly sick, some of them may have been asymptomatic, and some of them were clearly very sick because of the number of citizens that we have lost. I would like to say that the reasons, there are a number of reasons that we're where we are right now, and we need to all recognize that. One of them is the fact that, is the things that we did, the masking, the social distancing. Personally, I think we all think we could have done a little better with that. I think we proved that it did work. It's just that during the holidays, which is the prerequisite to when these deaths occurred, we didn't do so hot. And so we had a really, really tough couple of months. We don't need to go back there. Summer's coming on. I heard on the news this morning that all the Six Flags parks are opening. We still need to be careful. I think it's wonderful that we're getting back to where we need to be. Another piece to where we are right now, of course, is all of the things that the hospital did, and we can't commend them enough, but the monoclonal antibody treatment has been phenomenal in keeping people from being even more seriously ill than they are and keeping people out of the hospital. The remdesivir, the expertise, the developing expertise of the physicians at the hospital and the care providers. That's not what we want. We want prevention on both sides of the fence. We want prevention in the things that we know, the social distancing, the wearing masks. We want those kind of things. And then on the other side of it, we want the vaccine. And I want to say up front that I don't think this county would be where it is right now if it was not for the effort that the hospital has put in there, the effort, quite frankly, that my health department has put in there, and to try to get vaccine out to people. I also want to say it's been wonderful and it's been despairing. On the wonderful side of it, I cannot tell you what it's like when somebody comes up there, gets their doses, and then says, we're finally going to get to see our grandchildren again. Now, I will add to that, many people have said we don't really care about seeing our children again because they're bossy and they want money. But we want to see our grandchildren. So what a wonderful thing, and that has been so rewarding. But then the flip side has been those people that need the vaccine that we simply haven't had the vaccine for. And I will tell you, and I know that Kelly and the hospital folks have been the same way, I cannot tell you how despairing that is for the healthcare providers. Our role has always been to take care of people, to give people what they needed. And when you don't have enough resources and you know that your citizens and your people need that resource, it is despairing not to be able to do it. The stories that we've heard, the tears that we've seen, and again, I will say what I said when we first got the vaccine, we're gonna get you a dose. We're gonna get you 2 doses if you get the type that needs it. Just hang in there, do the stuff that you know you can do until we get to that point. I talked about the obstacle course, and I will say up front, we had 4 weeks ago, last week, my district had given 14,000 vaccinations to people across the district. We had 14,000 first doses that we needed to give last week. And instead of that, people were iced in their houses, and it was really, really difficult. Now, with all our community partners in Morgan County, once we were able to open up Wednesday, and Wednesday we probably shouldn't have opened up, but we did, and we were able to make up almost all of those doses from last week and are continuing to do the doses this week. I think we're still, of the 1,600 that we were due, I think we're still behind about 500, but we're working them all in this week to see that they get their doses. Also, I think people really thought that we were going to do something with those doses, so they all had to come first thing. And Wednesday was quite interesting in that we would not let a lot of folks get out of their cars because, we didn't need any broken hips and broken legs. Kelly had called and said, listen, don't be sending me the problems. And so quite honestly, we sent our nurses out 2 cars for the most part to get that. Now, I'm not going to tell you they were all real happy with me. I will tell you that I did order some heated vests that they were allowed to use, and the first person that got her vest, it didn't have a battery with it, and I told her to get over the battery piece of it and just wear the vest and act like it was warm. So, but the other vest has come in. In the meantime, the Lord gave us some sunshine, and we had a huge crowd when I left this morning, and so we are gonna get there. It has been an obstacle course. It still is an obstacle course, but I think as we're told in the Bible, don't grow weary, and ultimately we will get to where we need to be. So we commit that at the health department, and at the hospital, we're not gonna grow weary until our people in this community are taken care of. Just hang in there with us as long as you can. Let me also mention one other thing that I think will be promising. Kelly and her group are about to be back in the first dose business.
Yeah.
I think the health department is about to be back in the first dose business. The appointment system, the alcovidvaccine.gov will be activated no later than 2 days from now. Just watch for it. We do intend to do what we can to help people that have difficulty scheduling vaccine online, so that we can actually schedule their appointments for them if they just simply have trouble. It's an easy process for young people who love computers.
Yeah.
For those of us who are a little more older and a little more tech challenged, it's not quite as easy, but I do know how to do it, and yes, I will help you make an appointment. So listen, just please hang in there. We're going in the right direction. We can see the finish line. The sunshine is out there. Let's just hang in there together and we'll get there. Fair enough?
Fair enough. Thank you for the assuring words that you provided. Thank you so
sir.
much. All right. So that said, do we have any questions?
Yes. So my
See,
first.
Can we get you to use? Oh, you got a mic?
Yeah, I got a mic right here.
Okay.
My first question is it safe to say that this, I guess, downward trend in the right direction as far as case numbers is contributed in part to the vaccine, or what do you think is really the main thing contributing to this downward trend, which is a great thing?
My personal opinion is we're post-holidays. We're also, this is the highest incidence for respiratory disease and hospitalizations for respiratory diseases anyway. So fortunately, we're headed into spring. I do think the treatment mechanisms that we've had, the monoclonal antibody, the remdesivir, the continued expertise of physicians, I think it has at this point played the primary role. Now, that being said, we are now in the largest group that we have given second doses to. So do we think that's played a role? Absolutely. And from here on in, that will help us to get through this obstacle course and get to where we need to be. We've got to get more vaccine. We want more vaccine. We want more vaccine in folks' arms. And are we headed in the right direction with the vaccine? Absolutely. But I don't think we can commend the vaccine for the entire piece of it.
And then my last thing I want to ask, how are things going in terms of consistently getting the Pfizer dose into the hospital?
We've been lucky, I think, at this point. One thing I did want to make sure that all the viewers know is that we saved the second doses. So if you received your first dose at the hospital, we already have your second dose. When a shipment comes in, we save half of it for the second doses, just in never knowing what's going to happen, with manufacturing and everything. But we do have some first doses, about 3,300 first doses, but we got 3,500 in the queue to get the first doses. So just work with us and be patient. Our people are trying to call and get people scheduled to come in. And as Judy mentioned, last week did mess us up too with the snow because we had to close several days, but we're trying to play catch up this week and get all those people either their second doses or their first doses in. So, but yes, I'm thankful and happy with what we're being allotted at this point.
Thanks, guys. I'm good.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Okay, well, very good. Well, listen, I want to take a moment to thank our hospital, the health department, and our healthcare partners for all that they're doing to distribute the vaccine. I know it hasn't been easy, especially with the winter weather last week. Every day we learn a little more, and I'm thankful for the resilience and dedication of our healthcare workers who are taking care of us, and we can't thank you enough. Our next press conference will be Monday, March the 1st. Goodness, this year's flying by, isn't it?
Can you believe it?
Yeah.
Isn't this unreal?
Yeah, March the 1st. We'll be back at 10 a.m. and we hope to see you then. Thank you.